So Don Brothers episode 15, Don 15, welcome back Momotaro. So this episode, like the title says, brings back Momotaro at the end of the episode, and how they brought him back was very interesting because it also adds some more lore to what's going on in Don Brothers when we see the monsters of the week get destroyed by the bad guys, the ones who have perished. And it's kind of putting them in the shadow realm, but I'll get to it when I talk to it. But this episode also had the debut of Jiro transforming into the Gold Ranger, into Don Doragoku, I believe it's pronounced. And this form, seeing it in action, seeing it in motion, seeing the weapon and the transformation is pretty freaking cool. I mean, this suit is freaking amazing. I know a lot of people were complaining in my community post when I said, hey, what do you think of the new Gold Ranger? A lot of people said it's cool. A lot of people were complaining that, oh no, it's another Gold Ranger. So it is what it is. But either way, I love his design, and I love his dragon motif he's got going on for it, and the whole Chinese dragon mythology he's got going for it as well. So his suit design looks really freaking cool. So this episode picks up where we last left off with last week's storylines, and that is Momotaro coming back and then suddenly disappearing again, where it looks like the point system wasn't enough to bring him back. And we've also got Kiji Brother turning into the monster of the week, where he turned into a Car Ranger based monster. And I gotta say, his monster design looked pretty cool, I will say that. It did have the sort of Car Ranger vibe going on for it, with the traffic lights on the helmet, or the lights on the visor. That looked pretty cool. But the whole concept of the point system is taken another interesting turn, where they used so many points to bring back Momotaro that Saru Brother and Oni's sister, their points have gone into the negative, and Kaito warns them saying, bad things are going to start happening now that you've gone into the negative, and if they keep going into the negative, then even more bad things are going to happen that I can't explain or even bear to think about. And the first thing we see happening is Oni's sister unable to walk. She loses her ability to walk, and in this episode, she was confined to a wheelchair. And I gotta say, Oni's sister in the wheelchair, morphed, I gotta say, is a pretty hilarious image, because there's scenes where you've just got the Oni sister suit just sort of moving about in the wheelchair, and that kind of got a laugh out of me, just seeing a big Sentai suit sort of moving around in a wheelchair. It's so silly and ridiculous that I love it. And Saru Brother, the bad fate that he's received is he can no longer do haikus. Like, he says, time for a haiku, and then he gets a big brain fart and can't think of one. So we've got that going on for him. So with Kiji Brother turning into the monster of the week, we've got our heroes trying to stop him, and we have Jiro showing up again, and Jiro is such a wacky character. I love him because he calls himself a superhero. He believes he's fated to lead the team after what happened to Momotaro, but last week we saw him with a bucket of rocks that he threw at the bad guys. This time the motherfucker brought a boulder and he tosses it at the monster of the week. And I like how he froze it, because he kind of froze it, his hand movement. He kind of did it like a Hadouken or like a Kamehameha from Dragon Ball. And that was really cool. I did like that, how he tossed it. But it misses the monster of the week, and it hits Saru Brother in the face, and the others kind of scold him and say, hey, you're getting in our way, you're not really a hero, but why are you doing this? Do you know Momotaro? And we find out that apparently he does know Momotaro, and he says when he had a field trip to the city, he saw Momotaro sort of standing up to a bunch of punks and stuff like that, and Momotaro didn't fight back. He just put his hands in his pocket and he took the beating. And that was a really cool moment where Momotaro didn't fight back, he just took the beating and stood there. And that's kind of like a badass anime moment for Momotaro, where he just stood there and took the beating, and he wasn't even fazed by it. Now, this episode also had a really good fake out. So we have Kijino and Inuzuka meeting up, and Inuzuka tells Kijino that, hey, I finally met Natsumi, but she didn't remember me. And Kijino goes, oh, have you got a photo of her? Maybe we can look for her together and we can go see her. And he's like, okay, here's a photo. And he stares at the phone and they played the dramatic music. Or I don't think they even did play dramatic music. You just saw Kijino's facial expression do the, oh, like he's shocked. And then it plays the goofy dramatic music and he's like, how am I supposed to find her with this? And then they've got like a app filter on their face that hides their face. So it's a really good fake out, making you think that they're going to find out that they're sort of probably dating the same person, which I want to know what the hell's going on with that, because I was in doubt about it, and now I'm all for it, because now it's actually making sense, now that we're putting the pieces together. But yeah, we have that fake out, and that was really good, because that made me think, oh shit, and then you get the little gag saying, oh, he's got the filter on the photo, so it tricks the audience. So that was really good, I will say that. So we've also got the bad guys here, where the bad guys, or mostly Sonoi is kind of, sort of, he says that he felt joy that Momotaro came back, and it kind of questions where Sonoi lies, because Sonoi is a bad guy, but he's got a rivalry with Momotaro, so he's a bad guy, but he was annoyed that how he took out Momotaro a couple of episodes ago, that it wasn't with honor, and at the end of the episode he does say, we'll fight again, Momotaro, this time with honor, so you can tell that the guy was bothered with how he took him out, and he's excited to fight him again, so these two are destined to clash probably more than once, no doubt about it. But let's talk about Don Doragoku, or Don Doragoku. So that form, the Gold Ranger form, looks freaking amazing. I love it. I love the henshin device where it's a sphere and it gets bigger and then it plays this mad tune when he transforms, and we actually get the see him fight in it, and we get to see his finishing move, which looked really cool as well. A giant Shenron Chinese dragon coming out. That was really freaking cool. I loved that. So I love the new Gold Ranger suit. I know a lot of people either dig it or they don't dig it, but I love it. I think it looks really cool. I love the motif it's got going for it. So how they get back Momotaro at the end of this episode is really interesting, where Sonoi helps him out by saying, hey, I have to kill one of the monsters of the week. So he destroys Kiji brother when he turns into the monster of the week, and as he's about to get destroyed and sent to the other dimension, which we find out where Momotaro is, where the people go once they're destroyed by the bad guys, the Gold Ranger sort of rushes in and helps him out. Like, he goes to the dimension with him, and we find all these people who have been destroyed have been sent to this dimension. So it shows that these people aren't really dead, but they're just sent to another dimension. So that kind of does take away the dramatic tension from the monsters of the week being killed by the bad guys. They just get sent to the shadow realm or the digital dimension, so we kind of know they might be okay, and they probably can be freed by the end of the series. We'll have to wait and find out. But they find Momotaro there, and they bring him back, and Momotaro and the Gold Ranger Don Doragoku, they team up, and they destroy Kijirova's monster form, and all is well. All is well at the end of the episode. But we also have a great character growth for Momotaro, where he feels proud of his teammates, so they were able to bring him back, and he gives an inspirational speech to Haruka, saying, hey, I think you'll be able to walk one day. And he sort of walks away from her after he smiles at her and gives her that big inspiration speech, and he says, stand up and walk to me. And she does that. She gets out of the wheelchair and runs towards him. She trips and falls over and kind of glomps him as he falls over, and all is well at the end of the episode. So yeah, that was Donbrothers episode 15. I really enjoyed it and moved the plot along. We have our main hero back once again with our brand new 6th Ranger, who might be turning heel next week because apparently he's fighting all his teammates, so maybe he's going to be sort of out of control and wild, we don't know. That's going to be a lot of fun, but I can't wait to see where the show is going to go next now that we have our 6th Ranger. And slight spoilers, there's another hero on the way according to some toy listings on Toku Collectibles, we've got a extra hero coming, which is probably going to be like the Magna Defender or something like that. Well, Magna Defender-esque Ranger, because Magna Defender is kind of an extra hero, but we'll see what happens, but this episode was really good, and I enjoyed it quite a fair bit, and I can't wait to see where the show is going to go next. So, what did you think of Donbrothers episode 15? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.